stitches. Welcome to my channel. This is a channel all about cross stitch, sometimes a little bit of life, sometimes a little bit of other crafts, knitting, crocheting, quilting, that kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know what video number we are at. I've lost track. When I'm editing the video, I see what the last one was. That's how I know. So we're, I don't know, 135 something. Yeah, it's been about 3 weeks since my last video. I was going to do a video a week ago, but before I could get around to it, they announced that there was going to be a power interruption in our area, so we had to make alternate plans for the weekend. So yeah, we did a lot of outside yard work. Yeah, the weather was perfect for it, so we took advantage of that. And yeah, you know, no lights on in the house, you can't listen to music or nothing, right? So yeah, anyways, what did I work on? Shockingly, not a lot. I intended to work on more, but I just found this one project that I really wanted to get finished because there's a bit of a deadline for it, and I don't want it to be unfinished. So that's what I pretty much worked on for my evening stitching and my morning stitching. I moved the Q-snap on the stitching shelf so I can show you the pictures. I did take pictures, so I will figure that out and do that. So anyways, the other morning project that I worked on is Hatter, so you'll see that too. And I got my lunchtime project, and I gotta unzip the bag. And then we're gonna talk about something else that happened. And yeah, so I guess let's go from smallest to biggest. And we'll talk about that later, because I promised I would do a finished, that I would share something from my bin of shame. Shame It's Not Framed. And that is one of the items. I just reached in and that's the one that jumped into my hand. So my lunchtime project has switched from the Well Suited by Ink Circles to a different project. And honestly, I don't even know why I switched it out so soon. But I was in the mood to stitch Halloween Tiny Town. And so I started to work on this again. I had put it away last fall. I might have worked on it at the odd time between now and then, but here's what it looked like when you last saw it. And I am stitching this with a conversion of just from my stash. And I'm stitching it on the leftover piece of fabric that I stitched the other Tiny Town on. And of course it's hidden. And I remember talking about that in my last video. But this is the companion piece. There's a whole series of them. And here's where we're at. And I was working on it this morning when I was chatting with Amy and Gail. And that's what I was working on, was that last tree at the end. Yeah, I just picked a bunch of oranges and browns from my stash and a white. There's a few Leo and Roxy's, and some classic Colorworks and Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works. It's a little bit of all of those. So these are the colors that we have pulled so far. It's an awful mess. Because, yeah, it just is. Look at those gorgeous colors. Fall. That's what it is. Those. So, yeah. Piece of 28 count Lugana, hand dyed by Rolanda in a grab bag. And I knew once I found the Tiny Town patterns that two of them would fit on that piece of fabric. So just which two? Those are them. So that's my smallest project. So that's about half finished. Will I get it done for Halloween? I would like to. I'd really like to. But I'm not going to hold myself to it. No pressure. So, and I guess the reason for that is because there's pressure on this one. And yeah. So my son got married last year, and I started a stocking for my new son-in-law. And I started Cranberry and Pines. And the reason for this is because he's from Mexico, in a very dry area, and so they don't see trees. And when he came to Canada, he came up here, there was so many trees, big ones and little ones, and those ones under the other trees. Yeah, so all the trees. And here's where it was when you last saw it. And here's where it's at now. And I've moved it from a 10 by 10 Q-snap into a 11 by 11 Q-snap into an 11 by 17 Q-snap, so that I could bead, because that's where I'm at. All the stitching is done. All the green trees are all stitched, even in behind here. The rest of it it's in there, and it's beaded as well. And so what I did is, I don't want to crush these, because this was the last part of the stocking. I worked my way down from the top, and so this was still in the 10 by 10 Q-snap, and so I started beading in the reverse, so going back up to the top. And so once I was out of the range in this Q-snap, I decided to go with this so that I could get most of the beading done without having to adjust the Q-snap and try to work around beads again. So this part here, there's no Q-snap on this part. I just took the 10-inch Q-snap cover and used it on the top where there's no stitching or beads gonna happen. So there's my little trick of the day, tip of the day. And yeah, I was beading here, so we are so close to being finished. But I should have known, and I really should have known, and I really should have just gone with my gut. But still have some time. So, I knew through the expertise of other floss tubers, their experience, is that 3 packs of beads for this pattern is not enough. I am using my own tacky bob type deal that this was a gift box or a candy tin. I can't remember what was in it, but anyways, it's a little tin with a hinged lid. And I use a needle minder. And part of it holds the grid, the chart on, but the other part holds the beads. And inside here is just a folded up sheet of lint roller paper. I was using this, I did try it, but I've gotten it so long ago that the tackiness is just not there anymore. So I'm just using it as a needle minder inside there, because why not, right? And yeah, so it's low tack, and I can close it up when I'm done for the day. Yeah, so I think what's in there right now, like that's probably about a half a package there. So I'm probably going to have to buy more. I'm also going to have to buy more DMC, believe it or not. I know. After this, you would think, don't need DMC. But while I was stitching this, I ran out of DMC 500, the darkest green here, and I don't have... I thought I had a spare in this bag, and I told my sister that she could go ahead and take the last skein on the DMC rack because I had another one sitting around in another project. Turns out, nope, I did not. So some of these trees over here, which you don't see right now, are actually the wrong shade of green. Is anybody gonna know? No. You only know because I told you. And next time I won't say it. So hopefully next time you see this, this will be a fully finish. Hopefully. I really do need to get on and order the beads. Now speaking of beads, I did have this 5 gram, 25 gram package of Delica beads that I could have used. They're beautiful silver lined ruby colored Delicas. But the color difference I was not that keen on. I like the darker red. And today, as I'm pondering picking this up again, I was thinking I should have mixed the tube colors. It would have made it more interesting. But hindsight is 20/20. I am not picking these out at all. No. These ones are going to be all burgundy. And if I was to do this again, future me will know what past me was thinking. Right? So, that's where that's at. Okay. And yeah, so that's all I do to close up my box. And it can go in the project bag or wherever until we're doing this again, which will be, later today. So, there's that one. Yeah, I really need to get a list actually going for an order. Okay. So I guess I will show you where we're at with Hatter, because, yeah. Oh, and I do have a fully finished project too, so, yeah. I actually FFO'd something, believe it or not. Okay, so this is Hatter. This is by Gecko Rouge. They only sell kits, and you cannot buy just a digital pattern. But you can buy the kit and get a digital pattern as backup. My husband had got me this kit, and I started it without Pattern Keeper. But then we got the digital backup, and it works in Pattern Keeper, and I am loving working on this so much since getting Pattern Keeper compatible, you know, all that stuff. And here's where we're at. So we'll do a close-up for where we were. This is where we're at now. And I've been working over here. First I was going to try to go up to the red line here, which is 20 stitches up from that red line. And I thought I'm going to do the typewriter method over this way. But this is so much confetti here. I went as far as the next 10 block, so it's filled up the 10 block in here, and we've come across all the way over here and started to fill in all of this bright, bright orange hair. Yeah. I love working on this. This is stitched 2/1/2 cross, and yeah, this is the 25 count easy count, or whatever it is that they sell in their kit. There it is. Okay, so now stitching shelf. This is not where it's at. I'm not working in the same area as I had been, so showing you this is really not going to be much, except showing you where my starting point is for the next video. So Stitching Shelf by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, stitched on 25 count antique white Lugana, 2/1/2 cross. Okay, this is what it, hopefully I'm showing you that image, and now you're seeing what I stitched. I stitched in the bottom, on the bottom shelf, the winter shelf, until this most recent session, when I switched over to the spring shelf on the top, because the 22nd was the first day of fall. So I decided to move my Q-snap over to the spring area, and I put in approximately 15 stitches this morning. Yeah, so this is the starting point of this for the next video, because, you know, I should be getting some stitching done on that one between now and then, which should be in about 2 weeks. So I am going to grab that and my FFO, and I'll be right back. Okay, so yeah, you should have seen me struggling with getting this on some kind of something to hold it in place for showing you, because it's a little bit big. So This is Garden Party by Mirabilia. I stitched this in, well, I finished it in 2017. So probably took me 2 years to finish it, because that's about average, I think. I'm not sure. Basically, I started it almost as soon as the pattern came out. Let's just say that. I didn't look up when the pattern was made, but I bought all of the stuff for it and started it right away. And this is an example of what I do with my beads. And yeah, this is 32 count Belfast linen, and I usually attach the beads with a similar color, and I will change the direction of the beads to give them different optical, the reflection, etc. So up here you can tell. Yeah. So, yeah. She's beautiful. They're both beautiful. And this will be hanging on the wall until next time when I pull out something different. I'll be right back. Okay, so now that's back up there, and yeah, we can just look at it from here. So my fully finished object is the Amaranth by Just Nan. And do I have the leaflet? I thought I did. But anyways, here's where we're at. Here's what we did with this. This was a little square sampler that I had stitched on a random piece of fabric that I had in my stash. And I liked the tutorial that the Heritage Stitcher has on her channel. I have it linked in my there's a playlist of successful tutorials, and hers is one of them. And so yeah, so I took that sweet little sampler and I turned it into a little tall drum. Yeah. I myself am a little bit I like having a chart that I can refer to, so I tried to draw out the directions as she was giving them so that I could just glance at it and do it. After a few repetitive motions, it was easier. But if you don't do this again and again and again, it's something that you have to refer back. So I saved her video for that purpose because I really like the way this looks. And yeah, something nice and summery just in time for winter. Yeah. So this is the first one that I made, and this one is more appropriate to fall, and maybe I will actually take it downstairs and maybe decorate. Wouldn't that be insane? So this was the Sunflower Sampler by Shepherd's Bush, an oldie that I had in my, I don't even remember how I got that one. I think it was a stash unload So anyways, there's that. And that's it for my FFOs. So yeah, this is probably not going to be a very long video. Dog's going a little berserk out there. So yeah, I do have some knitting to show, but I don't know if this is going to go much farther because, well, I just need to make a decision. Because of silly me, didn't actually do some research. So I just assumed that this this was my big mistake. I just assumed that this brand was still available because it's not a, you know, independent dyer. It's a fairly good, well-known company that's been around quite a while. So I just figured, oh, that's going to be easy to replace black. But guess what? Not true. Not true at all. Yeah. So anyways, this is the dragonfly shawl, and I'll try to put in a picture of what it's supposed to look like and where it was, because I showed it last time, and it's working out really nicely. It's coming along quite well, but I can't get this yarn anymore. So this marker is where I was last time I showed it. And now we're up to here. So it's holding a much flatter shape than the other size needles combination was. So that seems to have solved that. But now I need to find some more of that, preferably the same type of yarn in black. But silly me, I thought I had enough, and it just occurred to me just yesterday, I don't have a full 150 grams because I used that on another project like 8 years ago. So that's why they don't even make the yarn anymore, because I've had it for that long. So yeah, silly. Yeah, ridiculous mistake, but it happens. Life happens, let me tell you. Okay. Yeah, I guess I might as well go into a little bit of life. So my son will be going down to Mexico in November to be with his husband. So that's going to be happening, which is why I want to get the stocking done ASAP. So yeah, that's one thing. Very happy for them. Anxious, nervous, all of that. But yeah, so he had a little bit of trouble with his car, and then yeah, so yeah, just, you know, when it rains it pours kind of thing. So yeah, and aside from that, I think everything is going well with him. And yeah, life happens. We had a contractor come in and used an excavator, a backhoe, to scrape off some of the lawn along this side of the house. And the driveway, because our driveway, it leads up to a big garage, but there's only the asphalt up to one door. And so we had him scrape the grass up so that you can access the other door, which is still the original wooden door from 1940 something. Yeah, so there's that. We really just wanted to park our RV over in front of that door so that we can get into the garage for the winter for our car, because winter. Yeah. So we had a guy come over, and we're like, well, if we're going to get the driveway done, we might as well scrape around the house so that we can put in sand and proper patio, just ground level. So he was doing that, and yeah, he snagged the kitchen window and pulled it just the way the machine moved. It just came over, and he was trying to tilt it a certain way, and he snagged the window and pulled it out of the frame. Pulled the window out from the house. And any farther, it probably would have just dropped the whole window. But it didn't fall out. And my husband was watching, and he said all you could see was he was devastated that he did that. He was so careful, and he was, we'll go to the hardware store and we'll replace it. And my husband was like, you can't, because it's a custom window. It was custom made for this house, because that opening is not a custom size opening. This is an old house. So he was, quite shocked, taken aback. And so the next day he came back. He had discussed it with my husband, but he came back and he flat leveled out all the gravel that he left, because that was what we were going to do manually. And I told my husband, no, you're not, because you're not going to break your back again. So no, we have to get him to spread it out. And he agreed that he would just spread it out free of charge, because he felt so bad for the window. Now, I will show you pictures of the window, and it's not as bad as it could have been. Like I said, the window could have came all the way out, but it didn't. The window frame itself was able to be pushed back into the house and secured to the framework of the house again. And the crown molding had been pulled off, and it's broken in the top corner. It's pulled apart at the side top, and there's a dent in the bottom. So we probably could fix it and put it back up, but it's definitely broken. It's very noticeably broken. So we've already contacted the place we got the window from, and they can replace the crown molding. It just snaps into that custom made window. So yeah, so we didn't have to do the manual labor. That's all I'm happy about. So saved ourselves, because that was probably about a $400 or $500 job with them coming out and leveling that out. So it might cost us $200 to fix the frame. So we saved $300 because of his boo-boo. So we told him we'd make up the difference, and he said, no, 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 no. It's my integrity. I can't take your money for that. So it's like, okay, thank you. So, yeah. So I guess that is really all that there is to share. Plans, I really did intend to work more on Cassiopeia and Alice in Wonderland, the Queen of Hearts, that I started with Sarah from Our Stitching Kingdom. Those two projects have been sitting over here, ready to go. And downstairs I do have one of the Christmas Eve Couriers ready to be picked up and worked on, but I was just focused on getting Roman stocking finished. Yeah, so I guess I've shared all there is to share. I'm going to upload this today. I have tomorrow off, but it looks like we're going to be doing something tomorrow, so I thought I better get this done. So until next time, which could be 2-3 weeks, you know, things happen. Life happens. Yeah. So until next time, take care of each other. Bye. I forgot to mention that I did make a video of our RV out there. I don't know if I'm going to actually publish it or just upload it to YouTube for my own private collection of updates that we're doing to the RV. You know, I'm wondering about documenting it. Yeah. So, if you want to see videos about the RV, let me know. We're new to us, so just let me know. Okay, for real, next time.